Hey guys, so today I wanted to do something just a little personal for my YouTube channel. I wanted to do my coming out story. I'm usually not in the mood to talk about this. I'd like to do peppy and fun videos and try and make people laugh, but I don't know, it's raining outside and it's been one of those mornings when I've been thinking about a lot of things, so I thought I would share my coming out story. I'll try not to make it too sappy, and I'll try and teach a lesson at the end or a moral, have a moral to it. But let me just start from the beginning. I grew up in a town of 1,000 people, give or take. Very backwoods, very southern, very country. And most people in my grades throughout school, from elementary to high school, there's about 40 people always 40 people in my grade. So it's very small. I knew everyone's name by heart. Let's see, elementary, I didn't know I was gay in elementary. I was too young to know, differentiate between hetero and homosexuality. I just remember that I liked to paint my fingernails with my cousin. I played dolls with her. We played MASH. I hung out with girls all the time. My best friends were girls. My first crush was Aladdin. And my first actual, real crush was Jonathan Taylor Thomas from Home Improvement, if that shows my age. And I remember those things from elementary, and then when it came to middle school, I began realizing that there was a name for it and that I was gay. I was raised in a very Christian evangelical household, and I was saved from the age of 7, but I guess I didn't fully understand what homosexuality was until middle school, and it wasn't until then, I realized, oh, I do hang out with girls all the time. I do find, that classmate attractive. I have found, other people in the past attractive, that I truly realized that I was gay and there was a name for it. I just never really thought anything of it. I just thought I was being me. And being raised in a very Christian household and finally learning what homosexuality was, it really conflicted with me, and I don't know. It was very hard because both my parents are involved in the church. I went to church 3 times a week, religiously in church, and I was very, very much a church boy, very sweet church boy. And, the two kind of conflicted with each other and tore at me, and, through middle school and then leading into high school. It was hard enough that going into high school, I was puberty hit me hard. I was very, very tall, very lanky, very pale-skinned. I had acne all over my face. I had just a hard time, fitting in with others. Not just because of my appearance is a huge part of it, but because I was gay and I didn't really know how to come to terms with it. I didn't feel like I could tell anyone, because most of the people in my grade, I just didn't think they were very accepting of it. And I've learned now, after, college and everything, that there are some that were, and I feel like most of them are now. Maybe it was just a high school thing that I felt like I couldn't. I remember some of the male straight classmates going through the hall. I remember one banging on the lockers and saying, "Kill the fags." And I'm not kidding when I say that. That's one thing that definitely sticks out in my mind. He also said he wanted to take all the gays, put them in a pit, and burn them alive. And I don't know why, but it's just things like that stick in my mind and terrified me to come out in high school. And I had friends, but I didn't have many. I was very, very lonely in high school, and I knew I was gay in high school, definitely. And I didn't have anyone that I could turn to and tell. It wasn't until actually after I graduated high school, and I took a little bit off in between high school and college, and I had one very close friend that I thought I would tell. At the time, I also met my first actual boyfriend. I was either 18 or 19, and it was a very short-lived relationship. It was just I don't know, it was just my first boyfriend. And also at the same time, I told that friend that I was gay, and she, it was a very hard thing for me to do, and I told her over phone, and she was not really accepting. She wasn't angry, she wasn't yelling or anything like that, but she was just you know your environment that you've been raised in, and you shouldn't be that way, and I'll pray for you and all this. Like, I still love you, how you are. And I was just like, like, I didn't want to come out because of this reason. Like, this is one of my best friends, and she doesn't fully understand. And I tried telling her, and like, I still love her, and she loves me, and she just didn't fully understand. And she's very also, straight to the Bible. So time went on, and I was still with my boyfriend at the time, and it was the 2008 elections, because I remember I was supporting Obama, and my mom didn't like that because I was supporting Obama, and she was like, if you vote for Obama, you're not my son, blah, blah, blah. And like, just kidding, I guess. But I was like, well, I want to vote for Obama because he stands up for things that I believe in also, and yada, yada. And eventually things, like, around that time just came to it, and she just flat out asked me, and she was like, are you gay? And it was just like, my heart just like dropped into my stomach, and I just like, it was that moment, like, I had to tell her, and I was like, yeah. And then after I told her yes, pretty much just hell broke loose. It was a horrible night. I remember her calling me a bunch of names. She called me a freak, she called me a faggot. I remember Abomination being in there. Pretty much I felt like the lowest person on the face of the earth, and it really, really sucked. I knew that she wouldn't take it very well, but I didn't think it would happen that way. I didn't know I'd be called so many names by my mom, and I know it was like an in-the-moment thing where she just didn't know how to deal with it. So she called me things like that, just, I don't know, out of being scared. But it really hurt, and we got in this huge, huge ordeal. And I left the house, and I found a place in a town an hour away. I started going to college, and I got away from my hometown, and it was good. It was good for me. I started going to college and meeting people that were accepting, and meeting people that were gay and that were just, down to earth and didn't care if I was gay or straight. In the meantime, my mom, she, let it spread throughout the family that I was gay. My dad never talked to me about it, thankfully, because he's an elder of the church, and I didn't want to hear what he had to say to me. I didn't even want to hear what my mom had to say to me, and, throwing Bible verses at me left and right. But, it spread throughout the family, and I remember, like, my aunt and my grandma specifically, like, texting me and calling me, like, we can get you help, we can get you through this. And I was just like, I don't want to get through this. Like, I've been going through this my whole life. I used to pray every night that God would turn me straight, because, like, I had a hard time fitting in. And, like, I honestly didn't feel safe at my school if I actually came out. So, I prayed all the time that God would turn me straight, and it didn't happen. I couldn't pray the gay away. So I finally, like, in college, I realized, like, I can never be straight. Like, I have to be who I am. This is who I am. And my aunts, my uncles, my grandmas, grandpas, pretty much everyone in my family does not accept it. Like, I have some cousins that are kind of accepting, and my sibling he's in the middle. He's like middle ground. He's not really for or against. But most of my family I don't know, my family has actually been broken apart. Like, I don't really see any of my relatives around, like, the time that this happened. And it's not fully because of it. There's some other family things, but yeah, I couldn't really turn to them. I really don't have family that I can talk to. But getting back to the happy parts, in college, I made all those friends that I could talk to and bond with, and, go out to gay clubs and, just be myself and start actually seeing people for who they are and seeing cute boys. I met my first serious boyfriend in February of 2010, and we dated for two and a half years. Like, having a boyfriend for that long and not being able to tell any of my family. I have never told my mom to this day still. we're not together anymore, but I never told her the 2.5 years that we were together that I had a boyfriend. And it still kind of kills me inside because it's been like, it was over 2 years. And I remember going to a family gathering once. It doesn't happen very much in my family, but my brother and my cousins all had a significant other. They all had their girlfriends, their wives, and then there was me, just by myself. I had a boyfriend at the time, but I couldn't bring him around the family because they would not talk to us. They would probably shun us, and I'm not kidding when I say that. Or, I don't know, I just feared that they would, like, force us to leave, or, I don't know, I was just very scared, and after all the things that, you know, my mom yelled at me, I never wanted to tell her that I had a boyfriend, even though, like, I was in love and I was committed. I felt scared to tell her. My mom actually, you know, told me, like, on occasions, like, you need to get yourself tested, you're probably a whore. Like, she told me I was a whore. She's like, you're an attractive man now, and you're living in a bigger city, and I feel like, you know, you have sex with anyone you can, so you should probably get tested. And at that time, I was in a serious relationship with my boyfriend, and that was just, like, a low blow. Like, that really hurt, and it was just, it sucked. And she even, like, talked to my roommate, my female roommate, once, like, trying to convince her to have sex with me so that I would turn straight and that I would like girls. It was just a lot of things. And me and my mom are okay today. Like, I still love her. She's my mom, but I don't know if she'll ever be, like, fully accepting of me. And I don't know if, you know, she'll ever fully understand what I've gone through. And it really sucks not having family to turn to. But in the end, sometimes you just have to make do with friends that'll love you for who you are. And that's what I had to do, is, you know, just bond with the friendships that I have made and, you know, realize there will always be people out there for me, even if my family doesn't accept or fully understand, they also love me. It sucks seeing all the other gay YouTubers, you know, make coming out videos, and they're like, well, I went through middle school, and then, like, you know, everyone kind of knew, but then, like, one day, you know, I told them, they were like, oh, well, we knew you were gay, and I mean, I'm kind of jealous of them. I'm extremely happy for them, because I'm glad that we can live in a time where people really, you know, but they don't care, and that's becoming more of a normal thing, and I'm happy for that. So, yeah, I don't know, that's my coming out story. I made tons of great friends, and I will always have my friends that are accepting, and I realized who I really am over the years, and that even though I am gay, I'm not a freak, and I'm not a faggot, and I'm not, you know, an abomination. I am who I am. I'm Calvin. So, hopefully one day my family will, you know, fully understand, and I can, you know, marry the man of my dreams, and they will come to my wedding. So, hopefully with time, I don't know, it'll change, because America as a whole is becoming more understanding, and I just hope that it, you know, spreads to my family. And it's hard when they've been raised in their kind of environment and Christian environment, but, I don't know, that's my coming out story. Yeah, so if you're out there and, you know, you are scared to come out, just make sure that it's the right time. Don't come out at a time that could be dangerous, because, you know, there are lots of kids that are bullied in high school because they are gay. So if you feel like, you know, it's not safe to come out in high school, it's fine to wait. Wait until college, wait until you're done with high school, because trust me, your college years, you know, much more free. You know, if people don't accept you when you're in college, then don't talk to them. Don't associate with them. In high school, you're kind of forced to be around your family and your friends, the same group, all the time. So if you don't feel safe, wait. And if your family is not accepting, just know that they love you deep down, that they just don't fully understand, and hopefully they will one day. And in the end, everything will be okay. You are who you are, and there's nothing that can change that. You are who you are meant to be. So live your life, Don't let anyone else tell you that you're, some freak or not normal, because you are normal. So don't let it get to heart. You are you. And that's pretty much, I don't know, all I have to say in regards to that. And I hope that if you do come out, I hope it all goes well for you, and that you can just live life happy and make the friends who are going to be your friends and love life for what it is. So that was my coming out story. Yeah,